Good morning, everyone. Joe and Kelin,
Morning.
Youngstown's Talk Channel. Welcome to the program here today. I got nothing today, so I hope you brought the storm. I've been so damn boring and vanilla that, I very briefly listened to some of the hearings for the SAVE Act, and it was everything I hated and expected. So I listened to it for 2 minutes. So I'm putting like a no politics today, or as very little that we have to.
Yeah, just fun stuff.
Just fun.
It's going to be a totally random show. Like this morning, I said I'm bringing the early 2000s back.
Yeah.
With a long sleeve shirt under a t-shirt.
Nice. Were you a skater chick?
No, I was not. I was probably more preppy, but sometimes had skater-ish. Like, we would go through our Warped Tour phase and things like that.
So Avril Lavigne guilted you into being more the skater.
Not so much Avril Lavigne.
Yeah, you didn't want to be preppy. You didn't want to be in that group.
Yeah, it was like I don't know, Dashboard Confessionals, Simple Plan, maybe little Blink 182, a couple of different stuff. Which, by the way, this summer I'm going to see Simple Plan and Bowling for Soup. Remember them?
Oh yeah, I listened to them frequently.
Yeah, they're going to be in Cleveland in August.
On Netflix, they have a great documentary on Simple Plan.
Really?
They have tons of footage from the early beginnings, the garage band stuff.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting. I like their music, but to get to know a band like that. See, when I was growing up, those VHS tapes where, you had the Metallicas behind the scenes and you had the skaters, like you really got to know some of these bands by those, whatever. I don't even know what they were called, but they were hype videos, but they were long behind the scenes video of those bands.
Yeah. See, and I love it all. Like even Newfound Glory, and I saw Good Charlotte in concert a couple of times. So had that era, but then very, very much still like a Mace and oh my God, why did I just blank on Usher? Usher and P. Diddy back before we all knew what a creeper he was. But then NSYNC were my boys. NSYNC, going to see Backstreet Boys this summer too in Vegas. I am a well-rounded millennial, I think. Even My Chemical Romance and Flyleaf had a song I really liked. A little bit of is it Korn? Not Korn. Yeah, did they do Freak on a Leash?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Limp Bizkit. I was a well-rounded millennial. I welcomed all of it.
In comparison, I know every generation says this, but today's music sucks. It sucks ass.
It does.
It
really does.
You really can't go to a concert and enjoy the music because it's just terrible.
I know. And I'll even try in my car. I have XM radio, and I have Pop 2K programmed 90s on 9. And I even have Hits 1. So I can kind of keep listening to hits that are popular now. And there is maybe a handful that I'm like, oh, that's a vibe. I like that. And the rest I can't even get through the song. I'm just this is so bad. And I automatically just go back to anything early 2000s or late 90s. Because I'm just I feel like the old person. I think everybody says music today is not the same. But I mean, I could say classic rock is probably one of my favorites. That's probably the best. So between, I don't know, some 60s, 70s, 80s, some 90s, early 2000s, all good. And then we get to the crap of today. And I'm just did we all just lose our ability maybe to write actual good music? I don't know. Or did I just get too old for it?
I think it's getting terrible. But to be unique in creative arenas, to be unique is going to be terribly difficult. And, there are very few artists or even movie producers who will go off and do something new because they don't know if it'll work. There's so much money tied up into it. You can't make a unique thing because nobody's going to be familiar with it. And you risk it being not adopted, and then you're dead.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can see why it's got all cookie cutter just for the money. They're all sellouts.
And then in April, Michael Jackson film is coming out called Michael. Have you heard about this?
Mm-mm.
So his nephew, Jafar Jackson, is playing Michael Jackson. And it's supposed to be all about his life and all this stuff. And so I was like, oh, that might be cool. But his daughter, Paris, has completely separated herself.
So, okay.
Saying it's
We've
inaccurate.
kind of done an overhaul on how we feel about Michael Jackson. Was he a pervert creeper in line with like the P. Diddy? Should we hate this guy and know he was not? He was an icon, but was he a dirtbag?
I don't know, because I've heard both. Wasn't it not Macaulay Culkin? What was his name? There's a child. Oh, it was Nick Carter. Not Nick Carter. Nick Carter's brother, Aaron Carter. He passed away. But I saw an interview with Aaron Carter saying, no, he was great. He protected us. He was this and that. All this stuff they're saying isn't true. He was the opposite. They had him killed because he knew too much. Like, I don't know. Do you think he was a creeper?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do. Okay. He was way off. Like a child's brain.
It's a little odd. Yeah.
Adult's body. So if you tell me that a kid's impulses, right, went too far because of his undeveloped brain and just because he was one of the child actor syndrome type of thing, I wouldn't be surprised. But for me to levy anything against someone, there has to be true evidence. But I think there was an era where we all knew that some bad stuff went down, and then we unknew that afterwards. And I don't know if it was cognitive dissonance, right? Where all of a sudden we like forgave, or that shit never really happened. I don't really know. I'm kind of left in the lurch.
What is the bad stuff that we know went down?
Improper relationships with children.
We know that to be true.
I don't know anymore. I don't know what I don't know.
I know, that's me. Know. Like, I used to be like, oh my God, what a creeper and what a pervy and what a sicko. But the more I look into it, the more I'm like, or was that rumor? I don't know. I don't know if it's true or not. Like Diddy, it sucks because I like a lot of Diddy's old music. And now I'm like, oh, I feel like I can't like it because we know he was an a-hole. But like, I don't know. Do we know Michael was?
I don't know. I'm willing to like, there are musicians that don't have that baggage that you can pay attention to. So I'm going to take the group of maybe dirtbags and just kind of ignore them for the rest of my life. I don't need to bring them in here.
How do you feel about artists that maybe they weren't dirtbags as in they abused children, but they were drug addicts or gangbangers and things of that nature? Do they get a pass if their music is good?
Yeah, because they're adults and they were doing what adults, as long as they didn't hurt anyone else. I don't really care if a heavy metal band went out and had sex with half of their audience and it was all people who are willing to participate in that kind of debauchery. You're an adult. You do whatever you want. Now, if they broke laws, now the drug use thing is like technically it's illegal and they could have got in a bunch of trouble, but I really don't give two shits what you do to your own body. I don't.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I don't know if you look at like Tupac or, what's his name? Oh, he died too. The bigger guy. My brain's not working this morning. People like that you're like, there is most likely some illegal activity here somewhere. Pass?
As long as they didn't hurt anyone else. That's my deal. I'm going to tell my kid when we're listening to music that they made terrible decisions and they broke the law a lot and they got away with it. They didn't have to go to prison, but don't be like that dirtbag. But
what about if they get a DUI and hurt someone?
Oh yeah, that's dirtbag.
No longer listening to their music?
No, I want to be surrounded with people who I admire, and I can't admire someone who behaves that way. Because I mean, you got to think a lot of these people made their way to where they are because of genius, right? And genius, that line of insanity is pretty thin between those two. You wrap that in money, power, and fame, and those impulses are going to be realized. So we're all dirtbags, right? It's how we express it. And if they have more temptation to be dirtbags than you and I do. So what I would hold you accountable, and if you came in here and said, my name is Kelin and I started using meth, right? Or sugar, whichever one.
Same thing.
And you didn't hurt anybody. Now, if you were dealing it and you were breaking into homes to be able to feed the habit, now I have a problem with it because now you have affected other people. But so long you're just destroying yourself, I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to tell my kids, see, Kelin, don't be like Kelin, right?
Yeah.
This is your brain on drugs. And I'll use it as a cautionary tale, but I'd still hang out with you.
What about no laws broken?
Yeah.
Nobody hurt.
Yeah.
But extreme profanity to include the N-word.
Oh, I don't care what word you use. You're not hurting anybody.
Okay.
I do feel that people are far too sensitive with only certain words that are outrage words, and that annoys the shit out of me. I think if you're gonna really dance with freedom of speech, you got to be able to handle anything that anybody says.
Yeah, like it is kind of funny where I would say there's probably a group of people out there that would say you can never, ever, ever say that word. And I'd be like, well, you just made a song. You want the song to be popular. If it's popular, we're all singing along and it's in there.
Right.
So do I have to censor myself when I'm singing that song?
Well, no, the thing is, personal responsibility is when you do and say things, there's a cost. You know what the cost is of saying it. So I will fight that you could say it, but I'm not going to shield you from the repercussions of what it is that you just said. You bought it when you decided to say the word. Everybody has those choices all day long.
Yeah. How about, I loved when it first came out. I still think it's a good song, but when it first came out, I loved the song Black Eyed Peas. Depending on where you fall on this line, it is either called Let's Get It Started or Let's Get Retarded.
Yeah.
Which is what it was meant. And the lyrics are Let's Get Retarded, but mainstream changed it to Let's Get It Started because of the offense. Even though what they meant by that is let's get amped, let's get hype, let's get ready, let's get going kind of thing. How do you feel with lyric change like that?
When you have a song that's that old and it existed in a time where it was more accepted, and then you slide ahead on the horizon, now it's not accepted, you just alter it. So if we always look through the prism of, like when, the Spanish or when the British or whatever conquer a land, we're looking at it through today's acceptability, and we're not looking at it through the context of when it was done or when it was written, right? So if every country had slaves at a certain point and it was just an accepted part of the culture, nobody was outraged when people had slaves. There might have been people that were looking to change it, but then you're like, well, today we would never have that. So they must have been crude Neanderthals at the time to even think of that. Well, that is true. It's historical context is necessary to be able to process what happened historically. We're just looking at it with music, like they could have used slangs that don't apply today, right? And it was accepted at the time. You knew what it was, but today's kids listen to the words that they're using and they don't know what that shit means, because snapshot in culture needs a context to be able to slide down and have understanding.
Yeah. Do you think we've peaked with the creation of original sounding music?
But the pursuit of how music's created today, yes.
Yeah, like everybody will say like there's a certain formula to make a hit song, and there are certain chords used in every hit song. And, I feel like we've run out of ways then to make it sound different. I don't know.
Let's see.
Emmanuel
says, you guys haven't taken a minute to listen to Sleep Token. Probably some of the very bands that don't sound the same as the next guy and do things completely different.
I don't know that, man.
We have a tendency to make everything transactional, right? Movies, music, anything that's created, we can use formulas to find those things perfect form. And then the pursuit is making perfect music that conforms to the form that we decided is perfect. But then what happens is we get bored with perfect, and then we go for unpolished, imperfect. So we slide the pendulum in the other direction. So the next genre of music is not going for perfect tones and the perfect beat and the perfect hooks and whatever. It's going to have a unique sound where you're going to pay attention to it. You remember in cell phones, like cell phones were getting incredibly big to use, and then they got incredibly small to use, and then an incredibly big. Well, that pendulum is, once you have achieved it, you're like, well, this sucks, like let's go achieve something else, and it slides in a different direction. That adaptability is what's going to make music and movies different.
Is that why sometimes it feels like, I feel like older songs, there's a clear melody, like you could hum along. Then you get to artists like, I don't know a whole lot of Drake, but to me, Drake and music like Drake's is just like talking, and there is no melody, and they just do this, da, 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 da. And I'm just like, somebody hum this song for me. If you could say no lyrics and you had to hum the melody, do it. And I'm like, there isn't one. it's just da 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 da. So and I'm like,
let's create a little bit of an analogy then. Okay. If I'm working, I have music that will fire me up. It'll get me contemplating. It will make me happy. It'll make me sad, right?
Yeah.
And not all music can do that. So you got to think of music as profound music and like dessert music. Dessert music doesn't do
Ah.
shit for you. It's extremely addictive, but you feel kind of empty and hollow with what it was presenting.
Just like a
my
beat or a
humps, right?
bop or
If you're talking about my humps, you get it, you
My
understand it. The beat's kind of cool, but it didn't do anything for you.
or LFO Summer Girls.
Yes, right. That's
Those
candy
lyrics
music.
are pure nonsense.
Yes, candy
But
music,
it's
not profound.
It's a
right?
jam, yeah.
But if you're going to transactionalize and make music into something that's easily consumable, you'll load it with refined sugars so that everybody will get addicted to it and they'll like it. But when they get to the end of the day, they're like, that song did nothing for me. But you can slide it back to a profound, I don't know, Hendrix or Johnny Cash or like these really good songwriters. Those lyrics can do shit for you. And you're like, we got Philosopher and then we got sugar music. And I prefer to stay over here. And you can't say the Drakes and the new R&B or the rap artists have any kind of profundity. Like think of the last great songwriter in rap.
Eminem, I thought was pretty good.
Okay, good lyricist.
Eminem.
One was murdered, and he was probably the most genius rap artist ever.
Tupac.
Tupac was
was
a
good.
fucking genius, absolutely.
What is the name of the big guy? What is wrong with me?
You said Biggie, right?
Biggie. Is it Biggie Smalls?
Yeah,
that's
he
who
was
I'm thinking
shot too.
of. Yeah, he was killed.
Mhm.
How about Dre? Dr. Dre? I like
That's a
some
weird
Dr.
one.
Dre.
Like in my vulgar rap days, NWA and Eazy-E and
Snoop
Ice
Dogg?
Cube and Snoop Dogg. I put that in a
Yeah.
category of like fueling the rebellious spirit, even Rage Against the Machine, and those are, you were angry teens and you wanted to hear someone equally as pissed off as you.
Angst.
That filled that anger.
My
role.
Chemical Romance.
Yeah, like it got in your soul and made you pissed. I could work out to those songs all day and adrenaline rush the whole time.
Yeah.
But again, sampling songs that do a certain thing. And I don't think we have any of the other genres built in there, philosophical genres that we once had. That's what's missing. It's all candy music.
Manuel says, great impersonation of Drake. Thank you. I think so too. Peggy says it has gotten too easy for people to make music.
The barrier to entry is very low on music creation.
Yeah.
It was usually reserved to people who would work really hard at something. And I can go to Sono right now and I could kick a beat out that's perfect and the lyrics are great, the presentation's great. It's all perfect.
And like kind of what I say a lot about Taylor Swift. And don't get me wrong, Taylor Swift has some really great songs that is kind of that sugar to your ear. It's just like a beat,
Candy.
a vibe. It's fun to sing along. It's toe tapping. But I even saw a comedian one time on the spot just make up a Taylor Swift song. And it sounded exactly like a Taylor Swift song because she just has this formula that every song sounds
Taylor
like.
Swift is a puddle, right?
Is a what?
A puddle.
Yeah.
Pink Floyd is an ocean. That's really what it is.
Pink Floyd is an ocean.
Yes. Yeah, go ahead and listen to a Taylor Swift song and do a music review on just what it made you do inside, what you got out of it, what you feel like doing.
Yeah.
It's candy.
Yeah.
I feel good. I just ate a Snickers.
The image was that he was made to look like a pervert. I guess this is Michael. But when you dig into the Epstein files, ...
Yeah. What if every talented and popular artist were in those groups and they all did big orgies, child sacrifice, having sex with underage, like the whole thing? What if they were all complicit? What if they all partook in it because it was so commonplace? Would you be surprised? I wouldn't. Not at all.
BJ says Pink Floyd is good awful.
It's god awful.
Oh, I can't see. Is god awful.
He's not a Floyd fan. But
I think there's maybe one Pink Floyd song I like.
You got to look at the depth of the lyrics and what they were trying to get you to think of. Like right now, the Summer Girls, right? What are they trying to get you to think of? Like reminiscing and enjoying the moment and things that you
being
like,
young,
right?
yeah.
And Pink Floyd was the other side of that, where like I want to look into the fabric of consciousness. I want to look in the fabric of why everything is, and push on the things that I dislike. It was, again, that's
depth equals stoned. I was gonna say that's sort of like when you're just in your brain and you're high and nothing makes sense. And I don't know, I've never been high like that, but that's kind of what I would imagine maybe. Like, oh, you ever see the years and years and years ago probably late 90s. NBC did a special on the Beach Boys. Did you watch that?
Mm-hmm.
I was a kid. I can't remember a whole lot about it, but they talked about the drug use and how weird Brian got in the Beach Boys and like the loose connection with Charles Manson and all this stuff. And like I didn't even live that era or that lifestyle. And when I hear like even some Beatles songs, or if you watch Forrest Gump, that soundtrack, it's like that 70s drug era, and it never looks fun. I don't know why people did it. They always paint it to look just awful and sickening. And I don't know the appeal of that, but I guess.
Well, what if today's creativity came mostly from the usage of things like acid and things like psychedelics and the drug use? What if that is the key that opens up creativity?
Yeah.
You never know.
You think that's why the Beatles got so sort of trippy as their albums
But I think
progressed?
that's the cost you pay. You get the imaginative state, but you lose reality a little bit, and you
go off the deep end.
You destruct.
I mean, how many artists, whether it's a musician or an actor, tends to go off the deep end because of what they did for their art?
They lose a sense of reality, and they go off the deep end. But what would you pay that? If you were mediocre, if you were just okay, let's just say you're Taylor Swift, and you're like, I want to be respected for my lyric writing and my songwriting ability. I don't want these other people just feeding me things to belt off and use my popularity to make a bunch of money. I want to be known for something. And like, Taylor, here's what you do. I want you to get loaded up on some mushrooms.
God.
Do some mushrooms. And then we lose the Taylor Swift that was a money-making, money-printing machine, and we get one that is a genius with lyrics. Would you make that trade? And we lose
If that's what happens, maybe you just go insane and it's a bunch of drivel because you are out of your mind.
Yeah.
What's lemon pounds cake?
I don't know.
Tom said lemon pounds cake, ? Tom, you might have to tell us what you're referring to.
So Jerry asks, what makes a rap artist a genius? It's a method and a way of thinking. And you really only get insights when they are interviewed and they are talking about philosophy and how they feel about things, whether or not you're talking to a brickhead that really couldn't think their way out of a paper bag, and somebody who's like, there's some roots in what they're singing about and writing about. So.
And I like Eminem because he could make it flow so effortlessly and so much. And so like, he was kind of known for finding a way to make words rhyme that shouldn't rhyme. But it was just like he could get a lot out in one sentence, like a lot said, a lot conveyed, and still make it kind of that bop, that beat, that remembering, the melody or earworm, but still have the lyrics that are cool. And I know I liked Eminem. It's funny, I found when Eminem's The Real Slim Shady comes on, and it just happened the other day, Coolio, remember Gangster's Paradise came on?
Let's do it every Saturday.
I could recite that song word for word to this day. Ask me what my password is to any freaking software program I got to use.
Do you have like songs that will take you back to an exact moment in your life and listen and be able to remember it with clarity?
Maybe not some exact moments, yes. Some exact moments, some like a moment in time, like being 16 and driving in my car or something, or like being at a junior high or high school party and like the song playing and the people around and stuff. I can think of one. I remember an exact moment and how I felt. And then there's a lot that are like a moment in time. It takes me back.
Yeah. Those are fun ones that we really are super interested in nostalgia, and it plays an important role in being able to remember things. Especially the feel good. I have a habit of going reminiscing terrible things and rehashing those at the same time. So
oh my gosh,
I don't do as often as I probably should.
I mean, I am still to this day trying to figure out why my anxiety song gives me anxiety. I think I've told you about this. Starship, nothing's gonna stop us now. Nothing's gonna stop us now. Lovers, we'll still have each other. Nothing's gonna stop us. Nothing's gonna stop us. It's a great song. Yeah. I love that song. I've always loved that song. When that song comes on, deep, deep down somewhere inside of me, something is really uncomfortable and worried. And I cannot for the life of me figure out why. And I've tried these like exercises where I'll just sit quietly and listen to it. Clear my mind. What is happening right now?
Was
what?
Was it Grace at the Grace Slick parts, or what? I mean, because
from the get go, the whole song, Okay. Yep, I could just hear it begin, and I'm like, and as far as I've gotten is my thoughts always go, I'm an adult now. I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm a grown up. No one else can control me. I'm fine.
I'd love if you were susceptible, go see a psychotherapist and go under hypnotism and dig that one out and see what the connection is.
And I don't even think it's like I don't think I'm going to get a big revolutionary answer. I think what it is when that song was popular, I was a little kid and I was a very anxious little kid. Everything made me nervous. I was worried all the time. School worried me. All kinds of things made me worried. I was perpetually worried all the time. And I don't know. That's what I keep thinking of is like, I had no control over my life. I was a little kid. So if bad things were happening, there's not much I could do. Getting in trouble at school scared me. Most kids would be like, big whoop, I got in trouble. Who cares? No, if there was any I avoided getting in trouble. Like it was the worst thing that could happen to you. And so I just think I was so high strung and that song was very popular. And I think I just associate the time. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, maybe they can reprogram it so you can enjoy that beautiful song.
Yeah, because I do like the song. Yeah. It's a good song.
BJ's giggling under his breath. He's
like, Kelin's just weirder and weirder.
I think it was more the Starship reference.
I actually like that song. But,
yeah, it's a good one.
Don't sing anywhere. You're going to get a copyright strike.
Oh, no.
Singing will not hit the profile. I swear to you.
Copyrighted.
Let's see. What's interesting is that in music, there are many that collaborate with others to write music, but the others do not get the credit. Most co-writers are happy just getting royalties. Yeah. And even now, though, the people who write the lyrics don't have no connection to the author or to the
don't
artist.
They kind of sell their rights?
Yeah, they just write a song, sell it to an artist, they perform it. So you give credit to the artist for performing it, and it becomes, unified with the name.
Yeah, there's a really well-known songwriter, and as well-known as she is, I don't know her name. I know it's a woman. And I remember one time listing off all the songs she had written, and I'm like, I didn't know that wasn't theirs. I didn't know that wasn't theirs. You think these artists write all these songs, and very few are actually writing their own songs. And I don't know if that makes me feel duped or not. Like I know they're recording artists. They're given a song and they perform it.
Right.
And we know that. I think we all know that. But then when you hear but somebody else wrote this, you're almost like,
Well, what about when you hear a song and you've never heard it before, but find out that it was a remake from a song that was outside of your era? Are you disappointed with that one?
Yeah, this just happened to me. What song was it? It's been redone a couple times. I think it was an Ace of Base song. And I had no idea it was from the 70s or 80s. Mm-hmm. I think even Tina Turner did a version of it. Might have been Don't Turn Around or something. You remember Ace of Base?
Yeah.
I loved Ace of Base.
I have
too.
a trauma story about Ace of Base.
What is it?
I've told this story before. I don't want to, but
I don't think you have.
Really?
I think I would have remembered. Ace of Base trauma.
Okay. So I played baseball in high school.
Okay.
You hear the story? It doesn't sound familiar.
I don't think so.
Played baseball, and I was not a power hitter. I was every bit of 110 pounds because I wrestled at the same time. So I was on purpose trying to keep myself a little guy. So not your greatest hitter, right?
Okay.
But I was fast as shit. And so I was your pinch runner. You get the powerhouse that gets on base. They throw Joe in there and steal bases and run like crazy, right?
Yeah.
And there was so much pressure in this game. It was a playoff game for my high school. And I was so effing nervous. And they put me on first base.
Oh, this is starting to sound familiar.
Put me on first base, and I was collecting myself, looking at the third base coach and giving me the signs of what I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
And I was not quite making contact with the base while I was looking at third base, and they threw the ball. I'm out. I was on base for 1 second, right? But that game was being radio broadcast. Okay. And the radio broadcaster was making fun of me, and they played I Saw the Signs as I was thrown out because it was obvious that I was not paying attention to the pitcher at all. I was looking for the signs on third base. So then at school, after that weekend, everybody was singing at me, I saw the signs and it opened up my eyes. I saw the signs. That's
what a jerk!
I'm telling you. So I became synonymous with.
I thought you were going to say you tripped.
No,
and fell.
trip, but I was there 2 seconds.
That's even
because
worse.
I was on the base. I led off a little bit, and I'm keeping it out because the coach wasn't doing anything, and I just kept my eye on the third base coach, and I got thrown out. So embarrassing.
Oh, now that song forever will
It's
haunt you.
I remember it forever as a trauma.
You know what
moment.
you have to do?
Right.
I've said this to a friend of mine. Like, she was dating somebody, and there was a popular song that was like their song. And then for years and years and years, well, they don't see each other anymore, and now it hurts her to hear this song. And I'm like, we got to do something fun to this song and change the memory. Like, you got to find a way to make that song a new memory or something fun. I don't know what that is.
I'm not going to go back and rehash Ace of Base. There are very few.
Yeah.
There are very few things that I can reassociate it with. So I'll just kind of
Ace
keep
of
that
Base.
one low in the brain.
Do you remember when Baby Got Back first came out? I don't know when it first came out, but I can remember it was already out, and I was maybe second grade on the swing set singing Baby Got Back.
You had no idea. You had no idea what back was.
It's just a song. Baby Got Back.
Yeah.
Who knows what
Well,
it is?
I mean,
the older kids listen to it.
Everybody who was singing Grease songs too had no
Yeah.
idea what the lyrics were actually saying. So there had to have been traumatized
yeah.
parents.
The
that-
Electric Slide. Have you heard about what
Yep.
that's actually about?
Yep.
And everyone's just, oh, it's a fun party song. Listen to it next to grandma.
Nope.
Which is interesting because as a parent, I get a little nervous when I want to protect what my kids are listening to. And then I think, well, but I mean, didn't we all listen to like older inappropriate songs when we were kids and we kind of turned out fine and we didn't associate it with, I don't know though. Baby Got Back's probably not as bad as some of the stuff. Like, I was just talking to somebody recently about the song Teenage Dirtbag. Do you remember that? Teenage Dirtbag?
Yeah.
I love that song. I love it. But there's a lyric in there that says her boyfriend's a dick. He brings a gun to school. And now anytime you hear that on any sort of public platform, they beep out that line because of today.
We can't handle lyrics. And that's what the
Yeah.
responsibility is, that we were not stupid enough to rehearse or, mimic the lyrics that we heard. I mean, I listened to NWA. My life would have turned out differently if I were like, I know what NWA does. I'm going to go do that too. Right. But today kids are dumber and they'll be like, oh, he did this. Let me do that too.
Like we had ICP, which was pretty vile,
Mhm.
Insane Clown Posse. And it was just dumb kids singing along to dumb songs.
Right.
But now, like, even My Chemical Romance did the song Teenagers. Again, love that song. You know that one? Teenagers scare the living shit out of me.
No. I don't
Oh,
think
it's
I
so
do.
good. I'll show you. But again, it's very much about coming to school and harming people.
Yeah.
And it's like,
But
that
I mean,
was written
But
before.
see, that's the thing about great creative expression, is that you take uncomfortable things and you use your medium to tell those stories, and they're supposed to be confrontational. There's the good ones are supposed to push on your beliefs and make you feel a little weird about it. It's not all supposed to be just happy rainbows and unicorns, right? It's
Yeah.
supposed to be sometimes on things that you don't want to hear,
like
that
real
makes you think.
feelings and
Right.
real thoughts. And
Yeah, like when Eminem, probably most profound stuff that he did was you got to put, suburban kids got to put them into what it's like to be a white kid that's living in an urban setting and the trials and, things that
3
you can't
Mile.
even contemplate what that person's dealing with.
Yeah.
And it's inspiring because that's a person that's a bootstrap story that pulled them up and creative fame and had made a bunch of mistakes, and everybody can kind of relate to those kind of music. It told an uncomfortable story for sure.
Yeah. How do you feel about Kid Rock? He's been getting a lot of flack lately.
Okay.
So Kid Rock obviously was known to be sort of rough around the edges and
That was his brand.
kind of inappropriate for kids and just like, lyrically adult content.
Mhm.
Now he has sort of calmed down and started making new music. In fact, he had the #1 song on like a Christian Billboard chart, I think, because he redid a song that was performed during the Turning Point halftime show.
Yeah.
And now people want to be like, oh, this is bull crap. He's fake. This is the same dude that just said this, and now he's singing this. He's a phony. Is he a phony or did he change?
Dude, he's an old guy now. When he was writing most of his songs, like, okay, let's take that historical context, right? If he was the same age at both times, then yeah, he's a little bit of a hypocrite. But think about when you were 17 years old. What was going on in that melon of yours?
Yeah.
Were you thinking about being consistent?
I was singing
with
Ba
your...
with Ba and Cowboy. And,
right.
Yeah.
So if you're young and stupid and make great music, and then you get older and your music's a little different, like you are a literal different person by the time you're making those later things. But when you see an artist, you're going to have them sample. Like, do you think all artists like when they playing their early songs that they've played 5 billion times? They do it because the audience loves them for all of their catalog.
Yeah.
And they want to hear all of it. But if they're in a position right now, they're a little embarrassed as how they were as a kid. They might almost hate the fact that they're being requested to play something that they moved on from.
Yeah, I mean, you hear artists all the time say, if I have to sing that song one more time.
Yeah, right. And that is exactly
But it's
why.
like one of the favorites.
Yep.
My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion.
Mm-hmm.
I will never get sick of that song. I still love it. I don't care how people think about it. I still think that is one of the greatest songs. It is. I'm sure Celine Dion is just nauseated by it by now.
And Idina Menzel, that's another one.
Oh, which one? That for Frozen or
Let It Go?
Yeah,
Let It Go. And so yeah,
it's still
I bet
good.
she's a little sick of that song.
Oh my god,
She made a lot of money on that.
Yeah.
See, I thought Elsa sang that song. That's one of those,
Idina Menzel is Elsa.
no, she's not.
Yes, she is.
No. What?
Idina Menzel voiced Elsa.
So who wrote the song?
I don't know who wrote it, but she performed it.
Okay, well, I might have had that backwards. I might have had the original artist performed it. Maybe
Idina
maybe I messed
Menzel.
up.
This because there are instances where the song could be made popular by an artist that is not in the
I'm gonna
actual
look it
movie.
up. I got Grok.
But no, yeah, Idina Menzel played Elsa. Unless I am wildly out of touch. And again, I don't know if she wrote it, but she performed it.
Okay.
Ah, so not written by her.
Kristen Anderson Lopez and Robert Lopez.
See, now who knows that the Lopez couple wrote Let It Go? They got absolutely no recognition. But everybody knows Elsa and Idina Menzel.
Yeah, Idina Menzel.
Yep.
Okay, all right, we got
You're
it.
welcome. And Kristen, what's her face, who voiced Anna? She actually sang too.
Mhm. I bought that one. I recognized the voice, but
Yeah.
Idina Menzel, I didn't know who she was until after. But anyway, original songwriters don't get credit. Elsa performed it, and that's who we connected with.
I mean, Mr. Lopez wrote that song. Who knew that? Nobody. Nobody.
Do you think Vanilla Ice, in his, I've seen the interview a bunch of times where it wasn't sampled from Under Pressure, and they
What?
Ice Baby
It
is
absolutely was sampled from Under
No, he
Pressure.
said it instead of going dun 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 dun. His goes dun 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 dun.
I have heard that.
Yes.
I have heard that.
Yeah.
No, that was a sample.
Sample?
They tweaked. Didn't like Robin Thicke get sued? Blurred Lines sounds like an older song from the 70s. I think he got sued for
Did he?
that.
Is that a rapey song, by the way? I've heard. I don't.
Blurred Lines? Oh, God. Maybe it
It's a rapey
is.
song.
And it's such a fun song. Another funny thing in music, like Blurred Lines are like, oh my God, are we all happily dancing to this inappropriate topic? Like, if you like pina coladas, you know that song?
Mm-hmm.
Two people are cheating on each other. They're actively cheating on each other in this song, and then they find out they're cheating on each other, and they have a good old chuckle about it.
That's so real life. That'll totally happen. Let's see. Kid Rock is just Dr. Phil with a mullet. And my point exactly, Celine did not write that song. On the other hand, Kid Rock was a writer of many of his own songs. Yeah.
Yeah. PJ says, we had to learn how to dance in middle school gym to Electric Slide. I'm still traumatized.
Can you imagine BJ doing the electric
Oh,
slide.
I can't imagine BJ dancing at all. I can't even picture. BJ, I'm going to need to picture this.
You know what I can't
the
see him
electric
doing?
slide.
You
Wow.
know those what are those Celtic dancers? He could totally got the
Like
long
river
legs.
dance?
Yeah, he could totally
oh,
do.
Lord of the Dance.
He's got those long legs and that
Yes.
perfect physique for it. Wow, he could totally pull.
We
that off.
had to square dance in elementary school. Did you ever have to square dance?
Never had a square dance.
Oh, you luckies. We had to square dance. Now that was humiliating. I probably would have rather done the electric slide than a square dance. But yeah, I always think of like middle school dances when I hear like Casey and JoJo or something. You used to dance like this.
Mm-hmm. Do they still do dances like that?
I don't know. I've not heard of a 7th, 8th grade dance like I used to have. Now, there's like homecoming and prom, but we used to just have like a 7th, 8th grade dance, like on a random Friday or
Probably
something in the
couldn't do
gym.
it. I bet you there'd be more fighting than dancing, so they probably pulled the plug on that.
maybe.
Can't contain these little.
Everybody started twerking and
villains.
booty shaking, and they made
they
it
just can't have it.
obscene.
Yeah,
And
worst case is someone spikes the punch. Now you probably get punched or you see people's genitals while they're dancing.
speaking of dancing,
Yeah.
as a male,
Yeah.
is it, and even when you were younger, maybe too, is it attractive to men when a girl can dance? Or does that not matter
At what
all?
age?
I guess any ages. Like, did you find that to be appealing in high school? Did you find
So
it to be appealing in college?
In high school, any movement was attractive because the chemicals that are going through a teen boy, like if
Didn't
you
have to
twitched
flow.
the shoulder, I mean, I was already done. Like I could move on.
She touched me.
Yeah, exactly. Later on, like maybe you appreciate people can dance, but women dance for themselves. They know they can pretty themselves up by just having really good moves, and then guys are attracted to. But it doesn't even. I've never seen a girl dance and said, "Man, she's really bad at that." So I think literally the standard
Yeah.
is very low for what good dancing means in a girl.
I have found it to be a useful skill in life that I feel has like not that it got me places, but was beneficial as I grew up and into my 20s. Bruno Mars has a brand new song out that's also very catchy. And in it he says it would kill me if I find out you can't dance. You know, and I was like, is that a thing? Is that important? When finding a mate as a young adult, the dancing. Like as a girl, I knew when I was going out to the bars and stuff like that, if a man could dance,
Yeah.
that was big. That was big. If they were a good dancer, you would just like, ah.
The only dancing I was ever able to put together is I got really good at break dancing. Coming out of
You
the 80s,
did?
oh, I was such a good break dancer.
We gotta see
Yeah,
this.
and so it was just out of that skater era. Breakdancing came onto the scene, got super popular. So we had a bunch of kids in the neighborhood that could do it really well, and then so we would practice it. So when we went to a school dance, I whipped out all the moves and took center of the floor and got the crowd to circle around me. It was
You
great.
could have been that chick from the Olympics. Remember the Olympic break dancer that got made fun of for like
Yes.
ever and ever?
Yeah, but she was really bad.
Was she bad?
Oh, she was really bad.
Some people are like, you just don't understand the art if you
No.
think she looks
No,
dumb.
I understand the art, and that was not paying homage to the actual art. That was someone who was mocking breakdancing.
Do you think
So-
breakdancing should be an Olympic event?
No, not at all.
Why did we have that?
Were
Were we short on events?
We're flirting with a whole lot of stuff that I think, okay, good experiment, but let's take that
Like-
one back off the list.
Like Olympics in 2045 will be lip singing,
Mhm.
like lip sync to this song, or because we have like TikTok videos now where everybody's just using sound bites and moving their mouths.
Yeah.
That might be an Olympic event one day.
There was a guy that's around my age that we were in the middle of Montana, and we were in a gift shop somewhere, and they were playing music from the breakdancing era, and he and I in the middle of this gift shop went full on breakdance.
Shut up!
Totally
no,
did.
you didn't.
Totally did.
What's a song from the breakdancing era?
I don't know. I know beats, like it's sort of like that electric. I can't think of one.
Can you beatbox?
I used to be able to.
Really?
Yeah. Oh,
like
yeah.
legit?
Oh yeah. That was part of it. You
couldn't
had
do
to. You in your brain you had a metronome and you had to.
Oh my gosh! Did you guys meet like in a back alley after school or under a bridge somewhere, and
rolled some
like
dice,
and you beatbox and you like battled each other.
No, we never did that. It was all
Oh.
presentation and dances. That's all we did.
You didn't have like a dance off or a, what's that called in 8 Mile where they, a battle,
Rap battle.
rap battle.
Yeah, never
You
had a
could have
rap
a
battle.
dance battle.
Yeah, I'd break character and get in a fight. I couldn't do that. I couldn't just do the vocal lyrics. I'd have to.
You couldn't lyrically destroy them.
No, I would see when I was in that era, I was much more of a fighter than a talker. And then I switched. I didn't like confrontation quite so much. So I could still hold my own in a fight, but it would not be my first deal.
Is it because then people got bigger than you?
No.
You were like, I
Every-
better start quilling them with my intellect.
Yeah, every person I fought was bigger than me. There wasn't a single person that was smaller.
Manuel says, Baby Got Back is a child's book to the garbage that's out today.
In comparison, well, again, historical context,
Oh.
and we warned all of you secularists that we're gonna rip all of that morality. We're gonna find individual morality or subjective morality, and we're gonna come up with good things. And we're like, don't do that. The slippery slide is that culture will not reflect the real principles that human beings need to have togetherness. Oh no, it'll be fine. We won't, follow our impulsive natures and go right into all the vices that are tempting there. We'll keep on the level. So they bought this, and you think it's going to get better or worse. Like the Britney Spears effect, right?
Yeah.
What you see on TV and what's tolerated versus now. You used to be able to watch regular TV and the words they could use and what they could present. There's no ass cheeks hanging out of the beds. There was no language that referred to sexual things. The FCC kept a tight handle on it.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, let's make today's regular TV almost rated R.
Yeah. I mean, then like Chapel Roan on the Grammy red carpet, any picture shared online, you have to like blur almost,
Right.
because her dress was so revealing.
Yeah.
But that's fashion. That's like,
It's the ramping up of what you have to go to be paid attention to. That's really what it is. The Britney Spears effect.
Adam. Hey, Adam. He says, I used to say Pink Floyd was god awful back in high school when I wanted to be provocative and get attention. Deep down, I knew it wasn't true. Kelin will know. I don't know, Adam. I always thought you'd be a Pink Floyd fan. Or like Rush. I don't understand the appeal of Rush. I'm told they're like geniuses, which apparently I'm not because I don't get it.
You want to stay away from the Rush thing. That'll get you in a fist fight. So we'll stay away from Rush.
Why? People will defend them?
All people are hardcore in the defense of Rush.
BJ, do you like Rush? Are you coming to defend Geddy Lee? Is that his name?
I don't know.
I think it's Geddy Lee. I don't know. Weird looking dude. Speaking of music with morality, how do you feel about modern Christian music? Do you listen to any of it? How do you feel about it?
I probably have 3 songs that are good enough to listen to.
Yeah?
The problem is, I think with most, and I remember
I
this.
am Rush.
What?
Adam says, I am Rush. Oh, he said he's
I
tried to
think-
call twice.
I think the priority
Don't
of
have
Christian
phones on.
music isn't its listenability. It's how it ingrains in the theology, right? And it's
Yeah.
more content than it is entertainment. And so some of it's just hard to listen to. There's some groups that have figured it out. Like there was even a couple of early rock groups that you only barely knew that they were Christian groups because everything was totally listenable, totally on par with, traditional rock music. And so those were the good ones. But most of them are just like,
Yeah.
I want to be accepted by my peers rather than I want to put out good music.
Well, Adam says the phone. I don't think the phones are on, Adam. He tried to call a couple
Adam, I didn't
times.
turn them on.
Yeah, BJ was never a huge Rush fan. All right, let's settle this once and for all. Is Creed a Christian band or not? Or is that a rumor?
I think they are, yeah.
A lot of people are like, oh yeah, Creed was one of the most mainstream popular Christian artists. And then everyone's like, no, they're not actually Christian. Their songs are kind of taken that way, but that's not what they meant to be. I
It's in
wonder.
the name, Creed.
Well, that would be
It's
part of
it's a
the
giveaway.
argument of, but did they mean to be a Christian band?
Well, and that's why not accepted by peers, because when you say Christian music, every note and word in your songs have to be Christian. And so if you deviate from it being in the hymnals versus just an expression by Christian people who their messaging has a tie to Christianity, they're not accepted by their peers.
BJ says they're pretty Christian.
Yeah,
I have been super into that kind of music lately. I listen to that station K-Love all the time, and to me, it's very similar to like pop music or. It's kind of the similar, like they know how to write a boppy song. They know how to, and don't get me wrong, like sometimes lyrically it's inspiring and it's great. And it could even be like theology, scripturally accurate. Sometimes maybe not, maybe sometimes it's just meant to encourage or inspire. But some of those are getting to be really like, they're good songs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if you're not like a Christian or in it or not a believer, I think you can listen to a lot of those songs and be like, that's just a good.
Did you ever hear
song.
Hawk Nelson?
Hawk Nelson?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay. So it was right around the Hanson era where the teeny boppers had this little pop group of little blonde head kids running around going crazy. Hawk Nelson came up. Now we're older than Hanson, but they kind of were a grungy rock version of that. And their songs were super catchy. And in the Christian realms, it was a real first young people's Christian music. I think they toured for maybe like 1 or 2 years before they kind of puttered out. But that was like the first recognition that Christians have the ability, at least, to make tolerable, accepted music for a generation that's usually pretty resistant to.
I mean, like Mary Shackles was on mainstream top 40. Lauren Daigle, she's on. Good. Yeah, Lauren Daigle is a Christian artist, and she's on mainstream pop radio stations all the time. So there is like some really close relationships with their sound, at least lately. And some uber religious people don't like that. They think that, oh, you're just writing a pop song. Honestly, my personal feeling is if it reaches someone, it reaches someone. So
wow, they had a career of about 10 years.
I've never heard of them. Hawk Nelson.
Yeah, they were popular enough that they're probably in some movies and some ads at that time. Some of the hooks you'll probably recognize.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, moving on. Like, we did a lot of music today. That's
everybody loves music.
They do.
They do.
Yeah, we can't start fights in the music world. There's
all right.
Nobody.
Now we're gonna fight.
All right. What else is going on?
That's not politics.
Well, a lot of people are paying attention to basketball, and I'm not a big college basketball fan. So
I don't know
the start of March
basketball.
Madness, this is where all the colleges have the brackets. They fight against one another, and they end up having the championship. No, you don't know anything about this? March Madness is.
I've heard of March Madness. I know it's basketball.
Yeah, so they start with a really big group of them, and every week, half of them are eliminated until you get down to like the final four. That's when I start watching. In school, we used to pick brackets where you'd pay $20 and you would get one of the brackets and you'd watch your team go through the championship and you win a bunch of money if they.
I think my husband does this with football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But March Madness is more interesting because you always have a team that wasn't supposed to win the championship that everybody starts rooting for because they're
like the underdog.
Yeah. And there's usually a couple of like Gonzaga was a program that did it a couple years in a row. Like when I was a kid, it was always the same names. You always had North Carolina, you always had Ohio State, like the same names always appeared. But then you'd have that, it started entering in some of the smaller schools that still,
Also, it's college.
Yeah.
Not so much NBA.
Not NBA.
You're not into NBA?
I'm not.
I mean, I don't watch either, but
yeah.
Isn't that interesting? Like, what is the appeal when people love college more than pro? I mean, basketball, football, I feel like down south, when I lived down south, college football was way more popular than pro.
Yes.
And up here, pro feels a little more popular than college.
Right. It has, and even in like motorsports and racing, it's all the same reason why it's more appealing to go to a local dirt track than watch NASCAR. The problem is that there's so much parity in the professional leagues. The difference between skill set is so minute that you're playing a team that, measurably is only 1% better than the other team. When in college, it's such a mishmash of different skill level players. You can have all of these huge swings and excitement because somebody, gets good or is good, but they're so much better. So much more can happen. So you have longer throws, better routes, coverage breaks. It's more exciting things can happen during the game. And that we don't watch the game to be a nail biter. Like, we love our nail biters sometimes. For the most part, we want numbers on the scoreboard. So when you're watching a race and a motorsports race, and there's literally 0.01 seconds between the first place and 20th place, right? The tolerances between who's a winner and her loser, it's so damn close. But if you can have a person like laps the entire field, right, because of how dominating they are, then that's exciting,
bigger deal.
Yeah, I think that's why.
Okay. I just thought of a rando topic. I don't even know what you said that made my brain go in this direction. It's not so much sports, but loosely tied. You ever meet somebody that would be considered famous or a big deal to someone else, but because you don't follow it, you were like, oh, and you weren't like, everyone's like, you were with who? And it was like, is that a big deal?
Mm-hmm.
Like, who's one that you were like, maybe didn't even know who they were or didn't relate because you didn't follow?
So, and I put in my brain, like, had I known them, like, I wouldn't have approached them the same way. We wouldn't have had the conversations the same way. A lot of them happened at NASCAR tracks when I was doing, sort of marketing, merchandising help for Dave Blaney. I would go into the pit area and I would just be surrounded by every name that you would know. And now I couldn't identify all of them, but there were tons of conversations I had with, big team owners. Bill Davis was standing next to me and we were having a conversation. I had no idea I was talking to Bill Davis at the time.
Yeah.
Or a crew chief that I would have known their name had I known. I was just having, and I was like, I kind of like to not know who they are because I'm more me and don't get, starry eyed or anything like that.
Mine were kind of loosely, and maybe they weren't even big yet. Like down south, when I worked for a radio station, we had to go to the Auburn home games, and they have what's called Tiger Walk, where the Auburn players kind of walk down and everybody cheers for him. And Cam Newton was real big at the time. And then he became Cam Newton. And so everyone's like, you were down there when Cam Newton was? I was like, is that a big deal? Or high school, I was cheering. I was a cheerleader, and we went to a basketball game, and everyone's like, see that kid in the stands? He's going to the NBA. He's going to the NBA. And it was, from Cleveland. Holy crap, what is wrong with me? Who's the Cleveland kid that went to NBA?
Are we talking LeBron?
Yes.
Seriously? You had trouble coming up with LeBron's name?
My brain is not working. LeBron James. I can remember being, I don't even know how old I was, maybe college. I met Kelly Pavlik and we hung out. And everyone's like, oh, this dude's going to be big. He's going to be big. I was like, oh, really? What does he do? And we were just in a circle. Like, he would never in a million years ever remember this happened because it was just so rando at Camelot Lanes one night. Somehow people I knew were with people he knew. And we were, I don't know if we went to his apartment or somebody's apartment. I don't even remember. And then he became Kelly Pavlik, and it was like, oh, what's his name? From We Were Soldiers. What is wrong with my brain today? I know this man's name. Really well-known soldier, was living down south, was from Mel Gibson's film, We Were Soldiers. He passed away a few years ago. I met him at a radio station I was working at. I wouldn't say I interviewed him because I didn't ask him anything. I was just in there to hit record and he was talking. He's with Joe. He had a guy named Joe who was a journalist. God, what is wrong with this? This is perimenopause is what this is. I had no idea. I had no idea who he was. Everybody's like, oh, you're gonna record so-and-so today. And I was like, okay. I didn't know who that was.
We were in Utah hiking somewhere, and we were on the trail.
Hal Moore. His name was Hal Moore. He's a big deal.
Okay. Didn't add anything for me.
Okay. You got to know who he is to know how big of a deal that was. But
well, we were on this trail, and it was a real tight trail. You were walking up the side of a mountain cliffs and whatnot. So everybody who was on this trail would see and be together the whole way up, and just having conversations with other hikers. And when we got back to the tram that took you from the trailhead back to your cars, I was sitting across from this girl, and my wife and one of the other ladies was there, and they were like, "Is that?" I'm like, "I don't know, is it?" And they were like sneaking their phones out to take pictures of her or whatever. It was the daughter in Sopranos, the older daughter.
Oh, Meadow.
Yeah.
But her name is. I know her name.
No, you don't.
I'm watching The Sopranos currently. She's diagnosed with MS, so she's been in a lot of news articles with Christina Applegate talking about her MS.
We're all just numbers to you. But anyway, she was sitting across from me, and you know, great conversation. But the minute that everybody recognized her, she was not the conversation, comfortable, whatever. She's a great actress, right?
Yeah.
And when it started doing pictures, she went from calm.
Lynn Sigler or Jamie Sigler or something like that.
No, that was not it.
That's pretty dang close. Jamie something Sigler.
Now we're gonna have to look this up.
What do I get when I'm right? Let's bet. If it's Jamie Sigler, I get
it's not
$10. $10 if that's even remotely close to her name. And I want you to read it out loud. What's Meadow's name?
Drea D'Amato.
That's not Meadow.
Well, I don't know. I didn't know which character was. That's the one we saw on the tram, okay?
That's Adriana.
Yeah.
Oh, that's even cooler.
Yeah.
You saw Adriana?
Yeah, we hiked with Adriana for like 4 hours before someone realized that it was her.
That's pretty cool. She was in Sons of Anarchy, too.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a cool one to see.
But anyway, but it was weird to watch not only when nobody recognized her, just act like a regular person. And then when people started that, she went into this other actress mode, and it was a way different experience.
I did feel kind of dumb. I saw Jeff Foxworthy down south in a restaurant. I guess his daughter or he lives not super far from Auburn, Alabama. I was in Columbus, Georgia. It's about 50 minutes maybe. So I was in a Bonefish restaurant, and I guess he frequents there. And we saw him walking, and my husband's like, is that Jeff Foxworthy? And I was like, that sure is. And I instantly felt in me, I want to go say hi. I want to go just say hi. Just say I met Jeff Foxworthy. And then I was like, don't be a weirdo. He probably gets that all the time. And yeah, like you almost have to be like, let them live their lives and not pounce. But you're also like, when am I ever going to say I met, like I could say, I met,
here we go again. This is
concerning. Blake Shelton. Jesus. But it was like literally 5 seconds. Like 5 seconds I met Blake Shelton. Took a picture with him. He called me sweetie. And now I tell everyone, I met Blake Shelton. I met Blake Shelton. Oh, is he cool? Yeah, the whole 5 seconds I was in his presence.
He'll remember you forever.
Yeah, Buck Cherry, Shinedown. I met them for the amount of time it takes to stand in a picture and say hello.
You know who I want to meet?
What?
Keanu Reeves.
Me too.
I want to be BFFs with Keanu Reeves. I think he's so cool.
Oh, I have a whole list of celebrities I would love to be friends with.
Yeah.
Jason Sudeikis.
Oh, he'd be fun.
Jason Bateman.
Yeah, he's not so. No,
oh, come on. I bet you they'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
They'd be hilarious. Who are some of my others? If he were still alive, Chris Farley, for sure.
Oh, dude, he'd be at my wedding.
Can you imagine?
I'd bunk up with him. Like
yes.
he's my favorite.
Being friends with him. Paul Rudd, I think, would be maybe kind of fun.
You like a lot of comedians, don't
you? Yeah. They would be fun people to be around, I think. There were some girls on there too. Like Leslie Mann would probably be a good time.
Not sexually, right? It would just be
just a funny person to be around. You said it
like it would be a good time. Like you can take that a couple different ways. I want to make sure I knew what you were referring to.
No, not in a lesbian kind of way.
Okay.
I don't know. Who's on your list of people want to be friends with them in real life?
Very few. I mean, I think, they're the geniuses. We're to have something to talk about other than stupid fan versus, actor thing. And I think Keanu and I could talk about some stuff.
How about Zach Galifianakis?
No, thank you.
Oh,
that would
be
hilarious. So frustrating.
Small doses, maybe. I want to meet you two celebrities. Oh, Carter wants to meet us.
You ever sign an autograph?
I think I did. I think I have. When I worked for Hot 101, people thought that was a big deal.
Yeah.
That may have been the only time. Maybe the other radio station down south. Or there was a brief period years ago. Again, this was like before I ever moved down south. I was working for Hot 101. WFMJ did a search for the CW girl and the CW boy. Do you remember Paul Knight? Paul Knight used to be on Hot 101 back in the day. He lives in Vegas now. He has for years. But Paul Knight was real big on Hot 101. So he was well known. And they came to YSU and they held auditions for the CW spokesperson. And I got it for girl, and Paul Knight got guy. And basically what it was just over a couple of years of TV promos, like Scrappers games promoting any event coming up. We did like a 30-second promo that aired on WBCB and WFMJ. This was like in my early 20s. So like there was like a loose connection with like WFMJ and Hot 101 and stuff where people thought that was a big deal. So I think I signed autographs in that era. I'd be like,
And was
here
that
you
your
go
10
if you think it's cool.
Was that your 10-second, or do you think there's another 10-second in store for you? Because you may have peaked. It might be downslide now.
I was in Sky Mall magazine for years, and I don't think anybody would find that cool unless you're actively looking in Sky Mall magazine. Because I do remember talking to somebody on a plane one time, and just while we were chatting on this flight, they happened to, I don't even know if Sky Mall magazine's on every flight anymore. I've not seen it. I've not seen it for a while. But I said, oh, do you want to see something funny? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, oh, turn to page whatever. And they're like, that's you. And I said, yeah, I knew a photographer in New Wilmington, Pennsylvania that was shooting a little local company's ad. He's like, need a model for this ad. You want to do it? I got $400. And I was in Sky Mall magazine for years. I was like, man, I should have gotten more money for this. My husband used to be like, my girlfriend's an international model. And I was like, it was for post-up stands. You know those visual aids that you just like put up on a stand that you take to trade shows and stuff? Modeling post-up stands. I got wildly underpaid for that.
Honestly, if I were your husband, I would make a cardboard cutout and have that right in the living room of that. What were you pitching? What were you hawking? What product? It
was the stands, the post-up stands. Like it was called postupstands.com
so you were just
or something.
Standing in front of it?
Yep. I had a suit on and I was just standing in these little visual aids like I was a businesswoman at a presentation or something.
Yeah, that'd be weird because the cardboard cutout would have to have the stand, which also would be a cardboard cutout. You can make it 3D. That would be amazing.
A post-up stand of a post-up stand.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
I love it.
There was a Whitaker carpet cleaning ad I was into. And a cousin of mine was working for Whitaker for a while. She said that picture is still in their offices. I think I have peaked. I think I did.
That's all right. That's all right.
I don't know if you can see me, but I'm an extra in the movie Cash Out with John Travolta.
Okay.
I've never seen it, so I don't know. You probably can't see me. I'm probably like, but I was a FBI agent in an FBI office because they filmed it in Columbus, Georgia. Which, by the way, you should go be an extra in Kingstown. They're still doing it in Pittsburgh. No, not so much. I think it's paid. I got paid to be in Cash Out. I think I got $100.
Yeah, I don't want it that bad that I'd be willing to sacrifice a lot of time for so little money.
I know.
It's not worth it.
Love doing that kind of stuff. And I always get down on myself that I don't go do more of it because I truly love it. But then I'm like, if I really, really wanted to, wouldn't I go do it? But to be like, I have to take a day off and drive there.
All in effort. If that's what you want to do, you got to dedicate to doing it and get the grunt side of it out of the way. And if you're not going to do it and you dabble, it's fun, it's cool, but
because it's almost always during a weekday, and it's like, do I want to miss work to go make this and then potentially not even be seen? It's just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whitaker is a vendor of mine.
I used to drink at a bar in Ronaldo Beach that Rod Stewart used to drink at. He was super nice and gracious to everyone. I liked Rod Stewart.
Rod Stewart. I heard he just added 6 more shows to his Caesar's Palace residency in Vegas. It was in my show prep. That's the only reason I know that. In fact, Carter, I mentioned that on Sunny 100 if you're listening. I don't remember what day I said that, but
all right, what else? We came back to
Oh, now I'm depressed because I feel like I've peaked.
you. Wait, that was on air epiphany.
Yeah, I have peaked. I am old news. Toss me aside. I've aged. You get to age and become more distinguished and more successful, and I get to just age.
See, that's a cynic way of looking at it. It really is.
Maybe this show will be my peak.
Maybe
Who knows?
you hitched your wagon to the proper horse is all I'm going to say.
I'm going to ride your coattails all the way.
Yeah, that was not egotistical at all.
That's another topic. What was it? My brain was just going, ooh, and this and this and this. Oh, somebody earlier asked
by the
us-
way, brain fog. That your sugar thing
Yeah,
contributes to what you're feeling right now.
the lack of sugar?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yes. So here, let me kind of give you what's next for this.
Oh, great.
So basically, the delivery of energy to the brain happens really easily with glucose. And when you cut out glucose, you get less energy being delivered to the brain until your brain and your body recalibrate. And then you are going to have such extreme focus and clarity. It takes about 2 weeks to get to that point. You have to ride through this muddled
Being a complete
fog.
moron for a
Absolutely.
few days.
But you're close then. If you're in this, and I didn't recognize it, but if you're in this, you're probably a week away from never having such brain experiences.
Now, it's only been a couple of days, and I've watched the added sugars. Not like sugar that's in like dairy or fruit or any added sugar I have drastically limited.
Yeah.
Do you think after a couple days that would start
Oh
happening?
yeah, because it's so drastic. You had so much of it before. Like your insulin response are going to be completely different when you're getting very little, or
Yeah.
sugars that have a slower processing time. And where if you take refined sugars, it goes right to energy in 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Where you eat some fruit and it takes a couple hours to distribute that same kind of glucose.
Because I had no idea how much added sugar I was consuming. My brain went, well, I don't eat the obvious. The cookies, the candies, the sweets, the bread. Those are obvious. I don't eat a lot of those. However, I eat a lot of sauces with sugar. The granola I was putting on my yogurt parfait. I'm like, it's Greek yogurt. It's healthy. Huge heaping pile of granola. That granola had 12 added sugars to it. And I'm like, holy crap. My coffee creamer had added sugars in it. Like all these things. Once I was like, I said, holy cow. I did not know how much I was consuming.
But you'll get addicted to that mental clarity like crazy. And you almost will dump the extra sugars that you're even doing to get more of the drug that is perfect amount of thinking.
Yeah. I was putting together yogurt this morning for my lunch, and I was going to use honey. Now, honey has 0 added sugars, but 12 grams of sugar, natural sugar. And I was like, no honey today.
Yeah.
Got to watch it.
Do you have a limit as how much sugar you're taking in per day?
I don't know yet. When I was Googling and looking up information, it said, try to keep it no more than 25 grams a day. That
Of total carbohydrates or just
of
sugar?
sugars,
Okay.
yeah. And I don't even know if they meant sugars or added sugars. They might have even been added sugars. I'm trying to get as few as possible of added, so that I have room for like I had salmon for dinner the other night, and once I ate it, I realized there was like a glaze on it that was very sweet. So I made sure that because I had that, I'm sure there's some sugar in it. Last night I had creamed corn, very sweet. I'm sure there's sugar in it. So like
Corn's
lunch.
terrible for this process. It is
Yeah.
a fruit as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. So I made sure like lunch had almost none and breakfast had probably none. And
It was weird. I was eating this, it was like a beet salad. So it just had a bunch of beets and other vegetables that were mixed in there. And so everything was like red, right? Because the beets.
yeah.
And I took a bite of just a small sliver of apple. And you would have think.
Oh, I
like,
ate a sliver of apple last night.
it almost destroyed me with how freaking sweet and how shaky
Yeah.
I got in 2 seconds.
Really?
Yeah, it went away in like 2 minutes. So I processed it out. But when you go and have very little, even a little bit, like spikes the needle.
Yeah, because I got in the habit of having dessert after dinner. And so now, almost like Pavlov's dog, when I'm done with dinner, I crave it. And I just tell myself, like, if few days. You got to get through a few days of this. So last night I had a couple apple slices, plain. Old Kelin would have dipped it in caramel or something. I was like 2 little slices of apple just to sort of crave that without added sugars. But it's, and then I see Paul, who was here with us the other day, on his Facebook page for his bar, there was an ad for, it's like midnight vino, whatever dessert. And it's a huge martini glass with vanilla Handel's ice cream and red wine on it. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to get in my car right now and go get some of that. And I was like, I can't right now. That'll be a treat down the road. But for now, I want to see what I can do. I've been measuring my food. I've been trying to get protein. You know how hard it is to get 40 grams of protein into every meal? I did that this morning. God, I wanted to puke. It's so much. Yeah. Do you count protein or look at protein?
I do macros all day long.
You get 40 grams of protein in every meal?
More than that.
What do you eat?
So last night's dinner was an 8-ounce steak, 2 hard-boiled eggs, shrimp, beets.
That'll do it.
Brussels sprouts. One more thing. But anyway, yes, I got.
But do you eat breakfast?
No.
So you don't have 40 grams multiple times a day?
No, I intermittent fast. So I 1 o'clock I eat some macadamia nuts for the fat content, and at dinner at 6 o'clock I eat a big dinner, and I don't eat anything outside that window.
Oh, see, I do. I'm trying to get a lot more protein. So my breakfast was 3 eggs, couple slices of avocado, and then I had to make a clear, low carb, low calorie, clear protein with water concoction. Because I'm like,
yeah, I get all
I can't eat that many eggs.
Through food.
Interesting.
Yep.
Interesting. Well, we'll see how dumb I get over the next couple of days when I'm like, what's the word? What is wrong with me? Like names that I say on a regular basis. I'm like,
it passes. A couple days of really bad, and then it'll get better, and then you'll have extreme focus, guaranteed.
Interesting. I do think I've been having weird dizzy spells lately, and I've been trying to think of all these reasons why, and I've narrowed it down to I think it's my ears. I think something's jacked in my ears because when I go to stretch my neck, I get all this pressure in my ears when I move my head.
Yep.
Will it clear that out? Inflammation, maybe?
You'll get a starting point because when you don't eat sugars, you don't get extra inflammation. And in a non-inflamed state, your body will be just a different animal whatsoever. Like I can always tell I hyperextended my knee in wrestling where another wrestler bent my knee the wrong way backwards. And it always, every time it rained, it was in constant pain. I had to keep it in certain angles.
Yeah.
And I get a non-inflamed state and it doesn't hurt at all, like zero. Like I don't even know there's any kind of difference. I always know my knee tells me whether or not I'm getting too much. And
that's kind of why I'm doing this whole sugar experiment is to see, does my neck hurt less? Do my knees bother me less? Do I swell less often?
Yeah, and I say it's a starting point because that's going to be your natural state. So you might be trying to solve problems in a totally inflamed state, and there's no way you're going to fix it. But if you get non-inflamed and you still have those issues, then you can work on them knowing you're at the standard.
Yeah. What was I just going to ask you? Oh, so I had a theory too. I've noticed, and maybe other people that live in the Youngstown area, I don't know if the snow will affect this or not. I went gluten-free 2 years ago this May. And when I made the decision to go gluten-free, it's because I could not for the life of me figure out why I was having strange symptoms. And they're the exact same symptoms I'm having right now. Dizziness, severe brain fog, not feeling right, fatigue. And when I cut out gluten, it got better. And I went, oh my God, I have a gluten issue. My daughter does have celiac disease. So that was another reason I thought maybe it was gluten. I know you feel some kind of way about that.
I didn't say anything.
But here we are, March, April timeframe. And what am I yet again experience? Dizziness, brain fog. And part of me wonders, could it be like springtime allergens and fluid?
Oh, I thought you were going to go with the lack of sunlight. And I was going to say, yes, you're on to something.
I kept thinking it was like drainage. Now, I don't feel drainage. I don't have a runny nose. I don't have the obvious signs of allergy symptoms. I've been tested for allergies in the past, but I'm like, is it drainage in my ears?
No, you're tracking down symptoms, not going after the origin.
But it's the same.
What I want you to do in
frame.
March, I want you to go see your doctor, and I want him to pull a blood panel, right? And I want you to see what deficiencies, what you're lacking in your body at that moment, and just compare it every year. And it's gonna be the same.
I've had so much blood work done trying to figure out what's wrong with me.
You're very specific. They're looking at lipids and reasons to give you medication. You're looking at deficiencies like iron. You're looking at vitamin K, vitamin D. Like you're looking at things that might be saying, okay, well, you're not getting the right nutrients and you're not getting sun exposure. You're not taking supplements that during the winter hours, you're backfilling the things that and then you hit this part of time, you're at your weakest, summer comes along, you get more sun exposure, and then you're back in business again. So,
well, that was my thing is like, did going gluten-free help my symptoms, or was it just coming away from May, leaving that season is why my symptoms improved? I'm still gluten-free because it's
compromised when you're in that state, and then you have a bigger effect on allergens because of the state of your body. Then you got too many variables in that.
Yeah,
I bet you it's more likely that you're missing some nutrients in your body, and you need to go get those things, and then you have a new baseline.
I wonder, because they did blood work when this happened 2 years ago. I described what was happening to me and what it felt like and my symptoms, and they instantly checked me for stroke. Mm-hmm. It was that bad. Yeah. And wasn't a stroke. I'm like, what is wrong with me?
Just the food you eat is enough to put almost everybody who just basic American diet, how close to ill health everyone is because of it.
Yeah. And I think a lot of us don't see it because when we're younger, it's like, but I've eaten this for years. I've done this for years. And why all of a sudden would it now affect me? But do you think that's because when you're younger and you have a lot of that like natural human growth hormone and natural muscle mass, about age 35, you start losing it. But so that muscle's not doing everything it used to do.
Science has known that all time. And we're walking around like blind people in total, delusion that somehow our body's staying the same.
Everyone just says, oh, well, I got old. Yeah, but why would getting old change it? It's the loss of muscle mass that does so much in our bodies. So it would make sense. We're losing things our bodies naturally produced.
Our bodies That's were why not we designed have to, change. To live. You know that? It's designed to die.
Like cell phones, just
it is designed that you grow real fast and reproduce and then check out. That's it. Your body is designed so that it gets big enough to be able to defend and support itself and eat enough, find a mate, have some kids, right? And then your kids do the exact same thing. It's a purpose, a primitive purpose of what human beings were meant to do. And so once you get beyond I don't need to grow anymore, then I don't need to create more testosterone anymore, and I don't need to do growth hormones anymore. Like you're done already. Just fade, dude. And so if you want to keep that alive, then you have to pick up where the natural body we're supplying those things for a purpose.
Yeah.
And now you got to do it on your own because you want to keep that stuff alive.
I mean, that's why I've been learning a lot about the importance of strength training, especially for women in their 40s, 50s, whatever. You stop making that muscle. And muscle is extremely important for bone health, for mobility, for everything, your immune system. And you're no longer naturally making it at this age. So you either lift weights and gain muscle
or die,
or you deteriorate.
Yeah.
Like literally.
But nature wants to claim your body back into the earth and create resources for the next generation. And it's dark, but that's what it wants to do.
You got to fight it.
You got to fight it.
Jerry says, since COVID, many have had and continue to have brain fog.
Yeah. Are we allowed to talk about COVID now? Is that one of those topics that the internet will allow us? I mean, BJ, give me the green light to say, even saying the word was probably too much at one period.
Are we going to get censored?
BJ, light clear? Let's see if BJ...
Are we allowed to talk about COVID, or are we going to get censored? The C word? Well, C word's a different word in my...
All right. Well, I'll default not talk about it, but I'll maybe hit the edges. We talked yesterday about having Muggle blood.
Yeah.
And those that decided to take it, and that was a virtuous thing to do because you're protecting humanity from the spread of something, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, now that people have that in their blood. This was a critical moment. Like when I was investigating everything that they were saying on the television, every single word I took not at face value. I looked it up and I used logic and reason to be able to see how I was going to, because honestly, here's the deal.
You said it. That content does not work, unfortunately.
Okay, so we'll dance around the edges, okay? That'll be my...
Do you all see how censoring the internet is? It's a little sus.
So anyway, my rule set is that I will only listen to people, right, and go along with something if win or lose, they're standing next to me, right? If I'm going to be a casualty of following and listening to somebody and they're not around when I followed their advice and I can't say, but you told... I'm not listening to you. I'm making up my own mind. So I have to censor good and bad information based on I'm the one who has to pay the consequences if this goes right or wrong. And I want to make sure that I'm not a casualty of your misinformation without knowing me at all. Right.
Yeah.
And they didn't care that they were putting in people in peril for the sake of the thing that they wanted to do for all of, all the citizenry. I think social media platforms kill it because of the outrageous claims content out there about it. So anyway, the things that didn't make sense to me from my understanding of science was that when they did this thing, it was supposed to be very short term, where it only lived in the muscles for a short period of time and it had no lasting effects and whatever. And I was like, how sure are you about that? That's good in theory, but do you have testing? How do you know that this thing doesn't sprout life beyond what it was intended to make and just lives in your body forever? And again, I'm so glad that I questioned, like, it's not worth the risk in about 6 departments for me. There is risks. And if I was on the edge of it was going to be dangerous for me or my family, I might have used it as a tool, but because it wasn't, there was no way that I was going to have something we knew so little about be introduced to me, guinea pig it, and then have some kind of complication down the road that nobody was going to make right.
Yeah.
Or could make right.
I was very lucky that I saw my kids get it before they were even allowed or able to get the treatment. Wasn't offered to children yet, and they got it. And I saw that they were fine. So I sort of took that as I'm going to wait then. I'm going to wait and see. I got it. I felt pretty pressured too, especially where I worked. My husband was required to get it in the military. And luckily we were both okay with it. As far as we know, knock on wood, no major issues. But I never did give it to my kids because I watched them get it and they were okay. And so that was data to me, real data versus what somebody was saying. And so I just kind of held off. And so far they seem fine.
Okay.
Knock on wood.
Yeah. But you are the muggles, right? You got muggle blood. So
muggle blood is it with or without it?
I think muggle blood is dirty blood.
Well, then I'm a muggle.
Yeah. You and your family are all muggles.
Well, our kids aren't.
Your kids did not get it.
They did not get it. No.
Okay.
I'm saying I saw them get the sickness. They got the sickness because they were not allowed to get the treatment.
Right.
And once I saw, and when I say not allowed, because they had not approved it yet for children. And then once I saw that they handled the sickness well, I said, well, that's a real life data point.
I got you.
And this I am unsure. So they didn't get it.
Okay. Yeah. In the future, they might have some kind of solution that washes that out of your system. But as of right now, in some people, not everyone, that it does stay with you a lot longer than they anticipated.
Yeah. I think my brother says he's had some issues since he got the treatment.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I pray for those people that, whatever, they were trying to do the right thing, most of them. And I just hope there isn't some lasting effect on it that, haunts them for the rest of their lives.
Yeah. The biggest, what's the word I want to use? The worst part about it for me was when they required it, like you said, for everyone, regardless of your medical history. Like, I have a good friend and she was diagnosed with RA at the age of 3. and it is bad. I mean, like, she can barely move. She's had multiple surgeries. And at one point they said, get this or lose your job, because she had a government job.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, you don't understand. Like, I really should not get this unless we know, like people who had some sort of issue physically that would ask their doctor, is this okay for me or not? And let their doctor decide. We're like, don't care. You're getting it, period. That was a big red flag to me. Like, I don't like that. That feels weird.
Yeah. And you know what? That's why most of my disdain for governments is what it's at. There's never the individual that is really under strict consideration, right? They will harm you for the sake of the group. And I don't like groups at all. So I'm not going to put myself at risk for the group, even like with wars, right? So we use the military against Iran, and 18 people who used to be alive are no longer alive that were in service of military, right? So I'm the president and I have to do something that there is a risk that people will not be here anymore. Like, I'm taking that really serious.
Yeah.
And I probably wouldn't be engaged in any wars because I value human beings way more than other things. And I think we are capable enough that we can, preserve life way better than we're willing to just expense it and say, hey, the overall good was good. So these 18 people that are not here anymore, put a flag and give them a memorial, and that's good enough. I'm not that way.
Yeah. I mean, I remember, like, there would just be everyday regular citizens that would be like, we should go to, whatever year it was and conflict was going on. Like, we need to just go and send in the military and bomb the shit out of them and go attack them and go, blah, blah, blah. I was like, well, is your brother going, or is your spouse going, or is your loved one going? Because you're going to feel some kind of way when it's send them over there to do that,
right.
Not just
you better,
people you don't know.
The military has to trust that you tried all other options rather than putting them in harm's way, right?
Yeah.
Did you feel like a president could just expense you out and do a dangerous thing and that didn't really have to be done? That would make me feel really uncomfortable.
Yeah, heck yeah. Brian says, Muggles have no magical abilities. Mudbloods are magical but come from non-magical parents. But the term implies their blood is dirty.
Okay, so it's mudbloods, not muggles.
Mudblood. Yeah, I was going to say, I know Muggles don't have magic.
Okay.
Mudblood.
You and your husband are mudbloods.
Or dirty blood.
Dirty blood. Dirty blood.
Yikes.
How does it make you feel?
Harry Potter nerds. Yep. Totally off subject.
As we've done all program long.
Yeah. Well, this is just ADD show today. Boop, boop. Earlier, somebody asked us to talk about the off-ramp of 680. Have you heard about that?
They're doing construction on it. It's like a 2-year deal.
I read somewhere it's being closed for good.
They're killing the off-ramp altogether.
Yeah, it's going away.
Okay.
Go from Mahoning to
Well,
Forever.
that intersection is a shit show. So them taking it away,
the merge is not.
it's terrible.
So it's probably good they're taking it away.
Yeah.
Which one is this? I'm trying to picture in my head which one is this?
It drops you off at the worst Mahoning Avenue exit possible. It's like in the dead center of a neighborhood is where your exit is. And it's just not a good intersection. So they're tearing that sucker out.
This isn't in Struthers, is it?
No, I think it's right in Youngstown. If they're thinking about the Mahoning Avenue, the little one versus the Mahoning well, no, that would be I think it's the shitty one that they're taking out. Which I'm not sad if it's the one I
Which one
pictured.
is the shitty one?
I'll map it for you and I'll tell you which one I think it is.
I don't think it's the one I take. I'm trying to Mahoning Avenue off ramp. Permanently closed. Mill Creek Park.
Okay, so I think it is this one right here. So it jumps off on Marshall Road, and then you run parallel to Mahoning Avenue, turn on there, and then you're on Mahoning Avenue. So I think this is the one that's
Marshall Street, Pepsi Beverages. None of that seems familiar, so maybe it's not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the one that they're closing. because this one crosses but doesn't dump off. Let me follow.
Doesn't
680.
seem like it's anywhere I go a lot.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's the one that's dying right down here in Youngstown.
So it's not like a major exit.
No, like I use it regularly to come down to the studio. Like I'll use the market. I use the Market Street one now. So there's 10 other ways to get downtown than Mahoning Avenue.
Is it how I get here?
No, that's Market Street or South Avenue.
Oh, yeah. So what's everyone's beef with it?
I don't know. It's not a good exit. You go under the bridge and it's like in a residential neighborhood. It's not a good part of 680. But they're going to close the road down for quite a lengthy time. It's going to create some construction.
Brian said, I thought they were removing the on-ramp by Jenkins sign,
They might be.
Star Supply.
It might be. It's a weird exit and entrance to begin with.
So it's not super necessary.
I don't think it is.
So why are they closing it?
I don't know. I mean, the
There's
article,
got to be a reason. What are we just going to spend money to close it for no reason?
maybe it was underutilized.
Let's look.
Reason is for safety. With a quarter mile, there are 2 on-ramps and 1 exit, forcing drivers to merge quickly. The ramp will removed and replaced with grass.
Well, it's for safety reasons. I hate merging anymore.
Yeah.
Patricia says they're closing the Mahoning Avenue on ramp. They're not closing an exit.
Okay. All right. Anyway, so yes.
I wonder if I'm picturing the right one. Is there a park nearby?
Yeah, it's right near the gardens over there.
Maybe I do know what you're talking about, because I know that there's a merging thing that I hate doing, because you got to like really get, if no one's letting you over, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
If I'm not thinking of the right one, then there's another one that sucks too. But
Okay. All right. Well, we'll look more into that when, but they are going to close that site. I mean, they're doing huge 680 projects, and it feels like every time they do road work on 680, it takes a really long time to finish, and it seems like every 5 years they're redoing the same shit that they did the last time. So it's never fun.
how do you feel about the wall, the sound wall barrier they just built? That news to you?
I mean, they
A
should have had one
giant
all
wall
along. There's
down
houses
680?
there, and it's super noisy.
Well, I was wondering, is like that was never there for years and years and years, but those homes have been there. So why now? Is it just the money or a grant?
When they
or?
built that was not a consideration, and now when they're redoing it, it's sort of a requirement. If you bring an interstate or you bring a highway near homes that are so close, you build up a wall. It's better for the families that live in those homes for sure.
So we probably just recently got a grant or something for it.
I bet. Yeah, the transportation. I would probably blame Obama for that. He put a ton of money in infrastructure rebuilds and additions, and I bet you our area would qualify for those rebuilding dollars.
Blame Obama for it or credit Obama for
It's the
it?
same word. I mean, blame is in he gets.
I don't know if the same word.
Yeah, it's the same word.
People,
Yeah.
if you say I'm going to blame Joe for this or I'm going to credit Joe for this,
They're the same word.
you're telling me there's not 2 totally different connotations?
Blame is blame. It's something is responsible for something else. You might have a negative connotation with blame, but
I think there is a connotation in that sense.
Blame is not always negative.
I'm going to blame Joe for this wall on 680. Does it sound like I like the
It
wall?
doesn't matter. I don't care how you
Or
sound.
I'm going to
gonna
credit
say,
Joe for this wall
I'll
on
accept-
680.
I'll accept
Sounds like I
blame
like
for
the
it.
wall.
I'll accept blame for it. Yeah.
I think I'm right here. I think I'm right
I
on
don't
this
think so. I
one.
think blame is blame.
I think there is a clear insinuation.
Maybe for you, but it's not a universal insinuation. Might be common, but it's not universal.
If I went around and said, we're going to blame Joe for the parking situation outside, would you be like, what the hell did I do?
You would say Joe is responsible for it.
And I'm going to say, he put in a bunch more parking spaces
Then
and
context-
parking's been less congested. You'd say, okay, well then
contextual-
say that differently.
No, contextually, you just said the thing that we'll know if you like it or not, but I still get the blame for it.
Or if I said, hey, let's give Joe credit for the parking situation.
Same word.
You don't think that's a totally different
You
message
saved yourself
conveyed?
some context words, so it was kind of a lazy presentation. If you want to get your point across quickly,
You're
and
conveying a different message.
you can use those words and basically leverage the common, right, the common feeling associated with those words, but they still blame is blame, credit is credit.
This is where humans and robots will differ.
Yeah, I'll argue this
Because a
all
human
day.
will say, look how this came across.
Mhm.
And a robot will be like, it's just the same word. It could be a synonym. And the human's like, not use the same, totally different.
Still, it tracks for me. It satisfies the formula.
Okay.
Yep.
The on-ramp near the gardens just before the bridge to get to U-Haul heading towards downtown. Jenkins Sign Company is right
All
there.
right. Thank you, Brian.
I think I am thinking of the right
Can I
name.
tell you that when I was watching, and this is the only sliver of political I'll do. I was listening to that hearing yesterday. Every single thing that Julie said when she was saying about the ZAVE Act was said in the first only 10 minutes, like verbatim. Everything that she said, the phrasing was the same, the word usage was the same. So I'm thinking that these politicians are so good about putting the narrative in these people's heads, and they will do all of their bidding for them.
Oh, of
and
course.
then they reinforce it by saying those same things. Like, it was phenomenal how close the words were. And even like the whole time, like what we said to Julie was, okay, if it isn't this, what is it? And Julie never said that entire show. The parts that we were missing, she never articulated what it actually was.
And that's kind of why, like, when we were talking about the show The Pit the one day, and I say The Pit hits on every single social issue there is right now. Every single one. I'm not kidding. We just finished the season and it ended with like an active shooter somewhere. Every single social issue. And it's always left leaning because of the phrasing. Like, you could touch on this issue and still keep it about the issue.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But when they're like, well, we're understaffed because you won't pay them a livable wage. And I'm like, there it is. There's the buzzword. You could have phrased that 10 different ways and a normal human being would have. But you use the buzzwords to do that.
Mm-hmm.
There was a scene, one of the nurses got punched in the face and was hurt. And they were talking about, this is getting more and more common here. This is ridiculous. We got to beef up security, whatever. They're like, hospital worker abuse is a very big problem these days. And it is going blah, blah, blah. And the way they said it was so scripted. I said, nobody would talk like that in real life.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how they would have phrased that. That was like a perfect script of something. And it just feels icky. Like, you were pushing something in this show. And I like the show, but stop doing that. Stop pushing an agenda with the show, like verbatim. It gets annoying.
Yeah, you'll still watch the show. And
I will.
They will count you as someone who's supporting the use of language, and they'll keep doing it. Thank you for being part of the problem.
Did you see, though, the Saturday Night Live skit of The Pit?
Mm-mm.
Oh, my gosh. So SNL, because, there's Republicans in the White House, they make fun of a lot of Republican stuff now. It was called Ma Hospital. And it was the same characters as The Pit, and it was the logo as The Pit, but instead of The Pit, it's Ma Hospital. And they're like, these people need 34 cc's of beef tallow stat. And they're like, what do you think's causing her symptoms? She needs a steak, not enough protein, And he's like, get him an ice bath in blue jeans right away. And oh my God, it is so funny. I'm like, I like the Maha movement, but this skit is hilarious. Quality. Oh yeah. Like they were like, oh yeah. We don't know. She's on life support. There's a procedure we could do. It could save her life, but she's vegan. And the doctor just goes and pulls the blood. And he's like, nothing can be done. And so that's one of those where like, you got to still be able to laugh at both sides, because even though I think the Maha movement can be beneficial, that was freaking funny. And I think on YouTube, there's the write-up under the reel was like, if you can't stand the Pit, the liberal Pit something, like it says how woke the show is. Mm-hmm. There's Ma Hospital, and it's so funny.
I love Nate's George Washington depictions.
Yes!
Those are my favorite.
Oh, Nate Bargatze.
Yeah.
He's so funny in general. He's coming to Pittsburgh in July.
Is he?
And I was this close to getting tickets, but it's like on my son's birthday and he doesn't want to go. And I'm like, come on, buddy. This is funny. Like, we've seen Nate Bargatze. And I'm like, I don't know.
He's cool. I like him.
Yeah. One of the few times of quality humor on SNL in the last number of years.
Yeah, but they oscillate. They really do. Like their writers will just go hardcore, do nothing but tear on Republicans and treat, even when they tell a joke about a Democrat, it's not a real joke. It's not even a funny joke. It's like we got to mail in equal opportunity offending, and they don't do a good job. Lampooning is supposed to hit all in the same caliber with the same enthusiasm, no matter what. And so, they get and Democrats really do not have a sense of humor when it comes to going after their beliefs. They're too big of zealots. They believe that they're no one should take aim at those beliefs because they're too sacred. And it makes it harder because Republicans, when you make fun of them, they kind of take it in stride. It was just good humor.
Yeah.
Democrats will boycott you and punish you for having made fun of their acolytes.
You don't laugh about that. That's a serious issue.
Funny.
You don't make fun of that.
No.
Like the new Scary Movie, like people are already getting offended by it and the movie's not even out yet. And I'm like, why? Because it's actually funny. Like admit when something is funny. And I love how like JD Vance just like dove right into the whole when people made that like fat meme of him with the curly hair and like he embraced it and laughed about it too. Mm-hmm. Like nothing screams insecurity when you can't acknowledge insecurity and a lack of intelligence.
Yeah. Tina
Fey recently, there was a quote by Tina Fey that says, you can tell how smart somebody is by what they find funny, what they laugh at.
Yeah.
Because you may not agree. You may even think, oh, that was kind of a cheap shot, but it was still kind of funny. Like I see the humor in it.
Right. We're going to go see on Friday, Hail Mary. I'm looking forward to that
with Ryan Gosling.
Yes.
I told you need to go see that.
Yep.
That's a Joe movie if I ever saw one.
Yeah.
And he's hilarious on SNL too.
And I have a feeling my new favorite character is going to be Rocky.
Oh, is it an animal or something?
That's a rock. It's an animated or it's yeah.
In that movie?
Oh yeah, he's the co-star. Rocky's the co-star and he's awesome.
I think I did hear something about that.
So you can go for Ryan and I'll go for Rocky.
Ryan Gosling's been pretty funny on SNL too.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole promo of him thinking he was in the Five Timers Club. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh my God,
So
it was
good.
so funny. He's pretty funny. And I was watching, I didn't watch SNL when he was hosting, but I went on YouTube and watched some of the skits where they would break. Like, why is it funny when like they break character and laugh?
Because it's live, and if it were you,
So
it's so
funny.
many funny people around you, and the dynamics are so funny.
Yeah.
How can you hold a straight face?
They did a skit together. It was Ryan Gosling and one of the girls on the show. And they did a skit. They were in a classroom. And they were yelling at students for passing notes. And they're like, bring it up here now. We're going to read it in front of the whole class. And the teacher opens it. And there's a caption on the screen that says, what's written on here has been changed since rehearsal. And the audience knows that and the actor doesn't. So the actor is reading this joke for the first time. And they're like, and they like start dying. And I'm just like, that crap is so funny.
Yeah. Picture you're on the couch. David Spade's next to you.
Oh,
right?
man.
The door swings open, right? And a guy in a car salesman suit comes out, adjusts his belt, and starts screaming at you with motivational phrases.
What do you want to do with your life?
His van. And he jumps on the table.
We got ourselves a writer.
Now what was the blonde girl from?
It was Christina Applegate.
She's sitting there, and that's happening in front of you, and you have to hold a straight face and listen to this guy talk about his van. Right
down by the river. God,
Keep it straight. I would not be able to do it.
He was so good. Oh yeah. Or there was one more recently. Ryan Gosling. Did you see the Beavis and Butthead skit?
Yes. Yeah.
To me, that was funny because they were breaking. I don't know if I'd find it as funny if the actors didn't.
Wait, was that where they were in the audience?
Yeah. And the guy's like, how can I concentrate when this dude looks exactly like Beavis? And then the girl turns around and sees him and just starts laughing.
Could you move, please, sir? You're distracting.
You're telling me you don't look like Butthead? Seriously?
The South Park lampooning of Trump, Vance politicians, and Mar-a-Lago faces are outrageously fun. I'll give you that. Like I think they go too far on it because I don't think that they created characters that are so outlandish that they're lovable. They're just mean-spirited deal, and it's cracking the same joke over and over again. I think long in the tooth on that one.
Yeah, it's one thing too, like if you're making fun of somebody because you truly dislike them, I feel like that kind of shows. Versus I made a joke because we see a humor in
but it's the same joke over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Gay sex between Satan and Trump is the same joke.
Yeah, because they've already done that with Saddam Hussein.
But JD Vance's character, that's dynamic because he just embodies this little, dawdling idiot. And so his responses to those contexts are actually funny because, it is so outrageous. But I think the Trump one's terrible. What was the one where her face melted off?
This was in South Park?
Yeah. Was it Kristi Noem that they had her face slide
I haven't seen it
off
recently.
Yeah. That was it was a one hitter and they moved on from it, but it's like it was just telling of the same joke too many times.
Brian says JD Vance portrayed as Tattoo from Treasure Island. Is that Tattoo Toji? I don't know what that is, but
I don't either. But I haven't watched since probably the first 4 episodes of this season because it got a little bit too repetitive for my liking.
Yeah, like all the time, people make fun of RFK Jr. working out in blue jeans because it's a weird thing to see. It just is. He looks amazing. He's in far better shape than me. It is weird. It's a little weird. Mm-hmm. Like the RFK Jr. Kid Rock video. That's just the weirdest thing that I think the White House has put out. Or at least one of the weirder things.
Well, that has got me, that RFK stuff has got me. Like Ryan and I work out together in the evenings. And some days I'm just doing chest and arms. And so I'm still like just got done with work and go up and we start working out. And I'll look down and I'll see that I'm in jeans. And I'm like, I got to go put some shorts on because I don't want to do, even though I'm doing arm curl, does not even matter. I'm just doing arms. And I still I can't be RFK right now. And I go put some gym shorts on.
You can be RFK. Embrace it.
I could, but I don't.
I have a Maha hat. And sometimes I don't wear it because I'm afraid people will feel some kind of way and it'll start an argument. And I don't know why, because I don't think it's a bad thing.
Okay.
I don't know.
The cost for expressing yourself is you can get criticism.
Fantasy Island. Yeah. Fantasy Island TV show. Do you like, speaking of Saturday Night Live and islands, do you like Lonely Island?
No, that's that stupid.
The group that they make up the songs. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Like they did
it's not
Captain
a reality
Jack
TV
Sparrow.
show.
No, Lonely Island is Andy Samberg and a couple other guys from SNL, and they make songs. I wonder if it was Lonely Island that teamed up with Akon that did I Just Had Sex. I just had sex. Remember that? And they did Captain Jack Sparrow with Michael Bolton.
No.
This is my favorite video on the internet. You know what this is. No. Captain Jack Sparrow. This is a tale of Captain
I don't
Jack
know what you're
Sparrow.
talking about.
And they go through films. I'm sending it to you.
All right, so here's where they went wrong. Lonely Island should be a reality TV show where they take nerdy basement dwellers, 5 females, 5 males, send them to an island and watch people who have no social prowess at all. And what happens? That would be amazing to see what would happen.
Like,
Lonely
can
Island.
they date and connect?
Or what they would do, like if they can't date and they're not comfortable in social settings, what would become of that? That would be a train wreck that I would watch.
Everybody just turns the TV off because they just go and sit in the corner and never talk to each other.
Or maybe they challenge them to make them, do stuff and force other people's participation to watch them, fall apart.
You have to go talk to that girl.
No, I know what. I would watch that.
You'd have to find people like that willing to participate. How do you feel about the reality shows of like Married at First Sight or
I hate them. I don't like any of them.
Like they get married without knowing each other.
Yeah,
it's such a waste of, I don't know, time, morality. It just feels so wrong.
We're gonna get out of here.
We're about out of time.
We went in so many different directions today. So this was a show that we're gonna put written and directed by Kelin and her foggy brain, and I was just here for the ride. So we'll catch you again next time, guys. Have a good one.
See ya. Thank you for listening to this show on Youngstown Studio. This is original Youngstown content. Feel free to share our videos and tell your friends about us. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us